Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. So much information, so little time. What's going on? What's going on? Limiting my time now that my show is ready. The Urban Conservative. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. What's up with you this morning? Mama riding in the building. Early, huh? Early. Guess who I found? Guess what? Guess who I found? I found the Moors, y'all. I don't found them. I don't found the origin. I don't found the origin of this American Moor, President. Yeah, got their ass. Press 1. As if I didn't have them already. I figured since they ain't bust a move, like Young MC say, don't just stand there, bust a move. You feel me? They scared to talk right now because they know I'm there. See, I already know. Once they knew I touched on the French, press 1. It was a wrap. Press 1. It's a wrap. Once I get you identified with who the French and what's his name, Marcus Garvey and all it is, it's over. Nobody want to talk. You know why? Do you know why? You know why they don't lynch themselves on top of you? It all took place in World War I with a group called the Hellfighters. Press 1. When the American, so-called American government, so-called, sent these brothers to France to fight for France against Germany. Not for America, for France. Like that just flew over your head or something, for France. They ain't even fight for you. They sent the National Guard over there, so-called. It's fine time to do this story of sending people to France in this one for World War I and all this mischief. Went over here. J.P. Morgan and those boys was over here laying down railroads and keeping people hostage, making demands. Press 1? Yeah. Press 1. What's up with you, Mrs. Shelley? Mrs. I Am Lori. What's up, Mr. King? I see you. Let me see who out here in my class today, bro. Time to get busy, like my man Hassan Campbell say. His brother just got out of jail, so y'all be careful out there. It's a lot. They tough right now. Press 1. They out there. You know when niggas get friends that come out of jail, they own again. Press 1. The old crew back together again. Press 1. No. Don't laugh, y'all. Don't laugh. Bungalow 54, the niggas with the big Balenciagas, man. It's a funny crew, man. It's funny when they get out of jail with their brothers. Press 1. What's up with you, Marley? For his glory is in the building. What's up with you? All right. G from the Bay. Hey, G, his brother just got out. Y'all better be careful. They look nothing alike. Shout out to Holland. What's up with you? Yasher, whatever your name is. I'm not good at Holland and Dutch names. Press 1. But it seems like we got a lot of bullshit going on. It seems like we got a lot of bullshit going on in the 1900s. Press 1. Did y'all know how many floods we had and reenactments of war at the same time we don't had? Did you know they was over there having the war, but over here they was over here being friends? Like all the time? Y'all ain't never figured this shit out? Too busy watching Tasha K beg for 20s and 50s and dubs, throwing the 50s and ones, pot smoke. Press 1. The fucking Tasha K. Boy, that girl over there making a killing. Ain't gonna be enough though. She can drain all of them. Well, she throwing the 150s and ones. Pop smoke. Lord have mercy. Internet. You can't get enough of this shit. Lord have mercy. People just can't accept truth. I've learned to live past the Truman Show. Press 1. I mean, even I'm a YouTuber, but I also watch YouTuber. I watch YouTube and man, some shit I just like, man, that's why I teach. That's what I teach. I remember when Sachetta had a nigga just all over the place. Niggas was beefing with Kev for just no reason. But I see why. Nah, bruh. TK wins in the end. No, Hard Rock. Sit your retarded ass down. Sit your dumb ass down. TK wins in the end. You should be ashamed of yourself as a man, if you're a man, to even make such a statement around amongst the row and the university. It's just ridiculous how you people on YouTube, oh yeah, I just went. She can get up there and say she lied to me. I'm still going to support. You don't even belong here. Get them the fuck up out of here. Get out of my room, Hard Rock. You stuck in between the place and the Hard Rock. Get out of here. Get out of my class trolling. You know damn well TK ain't win. Unless you just really stupid. I'm not. No. If you like to be stupid, aka in the world, just grown physically, but stupid in the mind. You so like, I see why they threw us in asylums early on in the wars. Press 1. When World War II was over, press 1, they brought all the asylum. They put you in a crazy house. Said you had shell shock, Negro. They said you wasn't able to maintain your shit. And take all your war coats and your medals and strip you down and take you to the big asylums. You just come back from war and now you're fucked up. Press 1. And you worried about Tasha K. That was a lure. I looked his ass out for that one. Press 1. I was waiting for him like a fish. See, they ain't never had no daddy. They ain't never went fishing. Come here, you little punk. Stupid. Where your brain at walking in my classroom? Get out of here. Too early to have that in your brain over what's important. All the information we've been kicking this whole time over the last week and a half, 2-3 weeks, and the only thing you got to say is she win, and all your brain is fixated around Monopoly money. Get out of here. We talking about all being revealed, Russian Tatarian deception, the Truman Show, and stolen legacy, fool. With that same energy, you should be showing me something. Some type of interest in your history, young man. Press 1. That's why you fucked up now. That's why you fucked up right now. So let me show you. Because most of y'all don't understand. Exhibit A. We're Moorish World TV and Sachetta and these people. All right. The Moor. The North African Frenchman. Press 1. See, what y'all gotta understand, Africa ain't real unless you be a North African. You had to go be a North African under French command to be, press 1, black African. You wanna know how you became African? Did you? Let me ask you, fool. Press 1. You had to go fight with these people, which is why I brought up the Hellfighters and why it was important to get your National Guard to go fight with these black folk who was over there just cutting off heads and all type of weird shit. Press 1. We ain't never knew these niggas. Press 1. But you had to go, sir. Press 1. They sent you over there. Now, why in God's name would they go serve you? Your own nation allegedly don't want you because you blacky, but you can go serve our other friends, the French. Why would they do that? And why wouldn't the Hellfighters find out until they got there what the fuck was going on? Sounds like a bad situation, considering what happened with the Hellfighters and how you became African American when they got back. When they left, they was just one thing. When they got back, they was, what the fuck is this one? Like a time machine happened. Press 1. And you got to study why they was on them boats for so goddamn long in the harbor just sitting there. Do you not know that the White Star Line, amen, is the same line that sunk the Titanic, fool? And we looking for heirs of state in the States and where these brothers at. We also looking at catacombs in fucking Paris, France, where these brothers somehow ended up. Press 1. Emmett Till daddy.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
was a hellfighter. Press 1. Convicted. Unjust. By the same army that sent them niggas over there to work. And they just got badges. You know what they convict this brother of? Guys. And believe you me when I say it wasn't just him. Which is why I started doing my research on why Captain John so-called Smith, who last motherfucking voyage was the Titanic, is somehow taking niggas. Now you don't hear me. And now that we thinking about it, Captain John Smith sure resemble King Leopold, motherfucking Holocaust nigga, white man with vengeance, documented, as my friend Sarah Susan said he would say, documented. Why in God's name would these brothers be under the command of the French? But now listen to me. The French is fighting the Russians. All of them is the same. The French and the Russian, when they have baby, you can call them a German. You understand what I'm saying? They baby is the American Nazi. That's what the fucking the German is. But fuck motherfucker. You hear me? So where we at? I just want to make sure you know what page we on. When you come up in this room, hit that like button as soon as you come up in here. 30 extra people up in here. Shout out to shout out to you, Netta. Jesus, thank you for the truth. That right there charges me up like a little Energizer battery. Press 1. You got to give them the truth that way. Our people being indoctrinated with propaganda their whole life, raised and incubated. They done made the home the human incubator. Remember this one? Got they ass. All these people talking about conspiracy really are part of the conspiracy. Facts. The only conspiracy is what my white lady friend called in yesterday and said, press 1. She said, my mommy and my daddy, press 1, met at the press 1 World Fair. My grandmama and my granddaddy met at the World Fair. I don't know how this shit happened. Exactly. And she's third, fourth generation. So us as men, we got to start analyzing these storylines piece by piece. There's a lot of movies and documentaries and videos to watch, not in mind control, but from the perspective of the researcher analyzing manipulated media, or what they would call cinema, how it happened. Press 1. Don't be stupid. Don't become fascinated by the shit. Oh, look at this one. Don't be one of those ones who need a helmet now. You still on the magic school bus. You just need a helmet and some ballistic blockers. That's all. Some correction. You need some static shock like the Germans used to do for shell shock treatment, so you get your story right when you come back. Press 1. See, that's what happened to the hell fighters. See, they went over there and they come back and get shell shocked because and then they get stripped down when they don't want to what? Admit that what just happened over there was the real complete story. They get said, you ain't thinking correctly. You got to research that. Shell shock. World War I. What it was. You know what happened? If you don't agree to this damn story, you go to the asylum and they strip you of your medals. Press 1. I'm going to give people time to hit the like button and call in if they have time. Now, I'm going to just leave that phone line open. But don't make no mistake about it. The Moor don't want you to know the North African and why they are the allegiance with America. Press 1. Now, why would they, the known Frenchman, the Black Congo Frenchman who have no state, press 1. He's stateless. He's consumed by French. Press 1. Napoleon and all the rest of them. Why would they send them over there with them? To become what? Huh? What was the name of the group they went and fought under? Amanda, please? Do somebody know that they just came up with this Africa term? Y'all can say Africa. Do you know that's an army military unit food? Press 1. And they sent them brothers over. You ain't got it yet. They sent them over there to serve as Africans, but they really not. They helped them establish Liberia. Press 1. Hit that like button. What's another nation they helped over there? Making them what? Automatically what? French African, because they in that military brigade, and American. So boom, bitch. And who helped them become that? They went over there as what? Servants. Did they not? Nobody can debate me. Nobody can. The History Channel can't even debate Kev. They went over there as indentured slaves, as they would call it, but really military. Do you understand what I'm saying? They became overnight this one. And they did the impossible over there. We're going to say that for another time. I just want people to grasp the scenery. I just want you as a brother. Don't worry about the sisters. They there too. But the brothers need to grasp what the deception is. So when you come back, say you got a whole unit being murdered over there, which we can confirm with Emmett Till's dad. Press 1. He died in France. Press 1. Who came in a place? Who comes back in these soldiers' place? There was already big shit going over here of troops already being and people coming over here in the early 1900s during World War I. Press 1. So why would the National Guard, especially the black ones, of not only the Carolinas, New York, and all that, but I think St. Louis, all the places there was a goddamn world flood, was a world fair, was not niggas gone. You feel me? Where was the black men at this time? You understand what I'm saying? Where were they? Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Water. Where were they? Well, now we starting to find out. World War I. So all my Tataria Russian infiltrators, press 1, who trying to act like they don't know Russian Tatars, press 1. They don't know the Tartars, press 1. I don't know why y'all playing. I don't know why y'all playing with this Tataria stuff. I don't even know why y'all saying all of these lands was kingdoms and stuff like this owned by the crown. Are y'all retarded? They ain't had no damn standing nowhere. And outlaws, only Viking warlord cave people. They ain't had no standing nowhere. Ain't no about law, standing upright, nothing. I'm not fooled by mass manipulation. I'm not fooled by it. And y'all don't even know. Y'all have no idea. Tar Heels what? How you know that's not tar? Like tar in the hills. Tartars and the Russian Tartars ain't got nothing to do with Tar Heels, Marley. Over there, Marley. Go over there and sit down. Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm talking about the Tartars. I ain't got nothing to do with what was going on over here other than there was a part of those kings and queens who assimilated your position. That's it. That's it. But knowing that the North African goes right along with what's going on, because you do need to know who the Moors are. The Moors are on YouTube every day. Nobody can debate them because they're all knowing and all that. But I'm debating them. They came here after World War I, what they will call Christopher Columbus type shit. Because when they came back, everybody was one. Everybody was white under the 50 stars in the states, the stars and stripes. All the nations that the Hellfighters was fighting, the axis of evil and all this shit, when they came back, enact the damn Truman Show. And knowing that, and look, the black Moor is no different than the white Moor. Shriner. Press 1. There is no difference in this. You hear me? That's why it's important to know what people really worship. What are these swords and stuff for? You cannot allow individuals to get up here and fool you and say black and we all black. And no, a lot of these people are with the invading forces when they came to bring down the crown. Do you understand? And that just happened. See, they got you living in a corporate dream world where the crown was in 17 BC, and then Sir Charles the white man, and then this one, and then this. No, nigga, them is Frenchmen. Those are the French families and shit they don't put in your corporate. A French family is your white George Washington and slick back hair dude. Press 1. That's not the real George Washington who was a planter, aka a farmer. Press 1, who established colonies and built things. No, that's what they wanted. Press 1. That's what JP Morgan and them boys wanted. Y'all got to understand how this monopoly game works. They want the railroad, the water and the railroad and the money. And that's what JP Morgan was up to. And not just him, the Rockefellers. JP Morgan is a DuPont. You understand? He's a DuPont. So y'all got to understand how deep that goes. His father had long money. His daddy had long banker. That's how they was able to establish kingdoms over there. But they was also kicked out of places as well. Just like to this day. Now, what's the difference between this dude over here and these Moors at the bottom? They are all here to do what? Play the Monopoly game on the initial game is play the Monopoly game. And place the game on top of you. The game is Monopoly is operated through maritime law and other ways that these foreign nations obtain water law over you. Maybe some mass floods occurred that is no longer around. You need to do some research on. Maybe some streams that are connected after the war. Maybe there were some dam breakings in the early 1900s, late 1800s that you guys need to check up on and do your research and join the Patreon and get involved. I'm over here researching the catacombs, but I'm trying to keep you interested in understanding why I make fun of Moore's World TV and them. And why they are afraid of me, and why Sachet and them really don't, because it's like, damn, Kev know all. Yeah, bro, I know who your father is, and your father is Napoleon. Press 1. That's your daddy. Press 1. Even Sarnetta said his daddy is a white man. Press 1. And now I know they are foreigners, and you got to understand this when watching YouTubers. There are very few what you would call a person of real American origin whose family bloodline was here before the invasion. There are very few. You feel me? And a lot of people want you to focus on things that's not yours, get yourself involved in things that's not you, that you just should be just working for a living and maintaining, emancipating yourself, believing in God, take care of your family and shit like this. Ain't really nothing really to it but to do that. I don't even understand why that's seeming like something hard to do. I already got all this. Thank you, 510. Thank you, but you can call this in or get yourself blocked. You can call this in. I already know about King Leopold. Because you text me don't mean you're participating. I don't like text messages. Press 1. I like for people to call in with their information. Don't people make me think, oh, I'm the one who sent you this one. Don't send me nothing. Take part in my Patreon. Send it there to the information hotline. Partake in such things that's going to be taking part. And there it is. Could Katrina have been a recent stuff like that? Let's say stuff like that. Stuff like that. Hit that like button. Thank you. That's very much appreciated. You got to understand that these boys are the land grabbers and the oil are the resource grabbers, and they come in with this mass deception circus. And now that I've shown y'all what the circus is, and it's really the Trojan horse to what's up under you, your resources, your land, and really bringing you under the servitude of a democratic pro-white supremacist mindset of servitude. That's why these blacks have no problem with serving. Their job is to serve, but who they pledge to is not of the royal colonies. They are from federal democratic position, which is okay. Is that everybody don't have the same political stance, and everybody not sell out. Press what? The Democrats is nothing more but the Hitler Nazi regime thought process packaged right. Walter Plecker, this one. That's why the school books taught you was from Africa. Do you get it? And beyond that, you was in the moon, in the star somewhere, and came from the Big Bang. And that's why all these people have to get federal funding through these thought processes within the federal construct, because that you better not have no original thought that don't come and get approved by me. Press one. You can develop whatever Indian land you want to. If you're an Indian and you come right here, that's the federal government. Y'all love that you can't live without the federal government because you don't have trade. You ain't never drove a train. You don't know how to do a boat. You've been gangbanging and stuff your whole life and taking mama. What I'm gonna do is okay, baby. Don't commit another crime. And I got you again right now. Your brain ain't focused on trades and building up infrastructure for nothing. Your whole life been from a communistic, socialistic begging position. Press one, because you think you came over on the shipping boat from Africa. Press one. And Africa didn't get established till when? The scramble of Africa didn't what? Why? Because they had to hurry up and come up with a thought process. You feel me? You feel me? They had to hurry up and come up with a thought process to put that storyline together. Hell, the story probably worked better than they ever thought it would. It took a whole nation. All you got to do is get the royals out there on the ship. Facts. Owners of companies that was heads of state back then, get them out there on the ship and make it seem very appealing. Nobility everywhere. Press one, but really, it's not. Press one. That's why the Titanic and all of its sister ships is very important. Who was on them ships? What's going on? Oh, I tell you, study. People who thought they was conscious yesterday, it's okay. You about to be conscious now. Why they call them ghost ships and why this one and that one? Why did the Titanic? Who was on there? How does that relate to what I'm saying? Because the Titanic owned by White Star Line. John Smith looked exactly like Leopold. Press one. That's why Leopold over there with the. I thought John Smith was an American. Who fucking figure, right? He's over here with these guys who's known as a slaughter guy. Press one. Look, scramble of Africa. Look, 1888 probably to 1914. See, I told you. Amanda did it right there. Right there. It's nothing. There it is right there. Google it and come to my Discord and talk. Open your mouth. Put this together so you'll know why this is called the Truman Show. 1881 to 1814. I showed you when the coup of America happened. So you have to start merging these timelines. I don't pull the bus over. Kids in the background. You know, when the bus driver driving around and he look up in the mirror like this one and these kids is fucking bouncing around. All this great information outside this window. And these motherfuckers in the back doing spitballs and going under the seats and kissing girls and shit. What the fuck is going on? And then you ask them something, they don't know nothing. Them the freshmen at the row. Them the freshmen at the row. You feel me? How do you do it? So who did it? We watched the whole documentary on so-called J.P. Morgan taking the heads of companies out in the world somewhere and holding them hostage until they met their demands. So the information is right there on the Discord. You just got to know the timelines. And I'm not giving you shit. You going to go find it. Because you got to get excited the same way I get excited when uncovering. I ain't giving you shit. I'm going to talk amongst the people who know. And then you going to think you know what the fuck we talking about. But you really don't. You going to really think that you know what we talking about. But you're not mentally there. You understand? Because you wasn't there right there when the uncovering of it. You didn't take part in the uncovering of it. You just wanted to press 1 in the chat room. Don't be the press 1 person and don't be the research person. Press 1 don't mean shit without research. Nothing. You can go to Champside TV and watch boxing for that shit. That is nothing from nothing mean nothing. In the discussion. Nothing. Let me see. So after the scramble, they started, well, you got to get the story right? You got to get the story right. Could a disaster had happened here and there? Who knows? That's for us to put together. Press 1. You just can't expect to find things if you don't research it. That's for us to put together. That's real spiel. How did you become African American? And they think of you as African. Not Jesse Jackson African. How did you become African? Not the Rainbow Coalition of Jesse Jackson, the other Rainbow Coalition. How did you become African in America? How don't your great grandmama know you ain't from no damn Africa? Why? Because your grandmama know what was going on in World War I in the early 1900s. Because she watched her mama. They all grew up in the time frame we talking about. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. You watched her mama, that's why. In no damn Africa. I know there was a lot of trips to and from Liberia, which made people African American, and they fought where and helped construct those towns up there. And what was the army up there? Oh, that was these French, because they had the territory. They colonized the whole front top of North Africa. That was the French in control of the Moors. Where are the Moors? 424-209-9506. Where you people at? Where Morris World TV? You still talking and playing on the internet like grown ass clown? All you niggas need is a red fucking nose. You be perfect. All y'all do is play. Grown ass men with shaved hair to be slaves and distractors, clowns for the Frenchmen or the Dutchmen. Press 1. This clown's afraid to speak. Ain't never seen a Negro speak so well against his captors. Press 1. They just pathetic. Afraid to speak because they can't. Damn, that's gotta suck. You just can't say nothing. You just can't. Your whole job and task is to fool around and clown your whole life. Beebity bop to rap beat some Morris World TV. I'm going to use you as an example. Because you represent the mindset I'm talking about, damn it. Beebity bop, you think you're a rapper, and y'all know all the law. You know all the law because you're a part of French law. See, but the only thing that white people is going to have a problem with is understanding that they the part of the Dutch and French army. Y'all the invaders, my little white friends. Y'all the children of the children who was stalking the parents of ours with the Martin Luther King and that shit. That was y'all on MTV. It was y'all, but y'all knew that. You know that's your damn mama and daddy. Our people didn't know that. So help me. That was us. Come on. That was us. We was fucking around. We really from Yugoslavia and came here in the World Fair and we ain't shit to do. We just following procedure of them. Come on out. And the Truman Show. And that's how you can't be bopping your head thinking you're a part of some damn rap culture. That's death. That's jail, or spend all your money up, be responsible, be a minor. Don't get emancipated. Don't emancipate yourself. Don't become who you supposed to be. Be a child. Be reckless. That's what that shit is there for. Just be reckless. Be a fool. Do what thou wilt. A bunch of Bolsheviks. And that's what they are. Press 1. I've been fucked up and called them a bunch of Bolsheviks.
Unknown caller.
But that's what they is. A bunch of Bolsheviks. A bunch of and we over here thinking French and Russia and they all different. Hell no. They all the same, bro. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. You on the air. Say something. Hurry up.
Hey, what's going on, man? This is Big Ant, man.
What's up, Big Ant?
What's going on, Big Kid?
Talk to me, King.
Hey, so back on J.P. Morgan, right?
Yes, sir.
I did some research, and I was able to find the original settler in America tied to his name, dating all the way back to
Ohio,
Plymouth Rock, and he was on the boat. He was on the Merriweather. He was on that boat, the Mayflower. I'm sorry. Miles Morgan. Miles Morgan is one of the original descendants of J.P. Morgan that came over on the Mayflower and settled in Springfield, one of the first settlers in Massachusetts. But hold on, get this. He had a war
chartered under the crown, correct?
Huh?
Chartered by the crown. Granted a charter by the crown.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So there was a king there. You can look up his picture now. His name was King Meta Comet. Metacomet. He was a black man.
I would think so.
But they called him King Philip. But his original name was Metacomet. Metacomet. And Miles Morgan fought the war. It's called the King Philip's War to knock off them. And that pretty much established how they was able to move his family name Morgan within America.
But J.P. Morgan is not a real Morgan.
I got you. I got you on that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you as well. I get you how they established those names, how they would already have those names, overthrowing the crown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
We'll see.
But King Philip, a.k.a. King Metacomet.
My man. Thank you for the call.
That was no problem.
My man. But yeah, that's maybe catch on to some of y'all. I don't know. I'll have to do my research on that. But yeah, following the Hell Fighters and Emmett Till and the meaning behind that and the ring being sent back to the family. I think a lot of those World War I tragedy events that happened was under the command of France, and those brothers a lot of our brothers died over there and is buried over there. A lot of those brothers is buried over there. I thought all that shit was going here. I started looking at all the wars, right, of America, right? I started looking at all the wars. And I realized that all of the wars, and I'm not going to be able to debate me in this. This is crazy. All the wars in America are like the French wars, the Great War, kind of like broken down in sections. I started realizing, wait a minute, and it made more sense. The so-called Treaty of Paris and France, the signing the treaty and the pact, could have been a forced treaty, could have been a forced signing. Early World War One. You never know. Those banksters and those people who wanted the land, I mean, the complete rights to monetizing the money, forget the land at the moment, but just the money itself, wanted the possession of the gold. You got to go through extreme measures to pull that off. Grand Theft Auto type shit. Shout out to you, sir, with that Bolsheviks. That's real. That's real. I've also been checking out these catacombs. I don't know how far y'all been researching, but I've been doing my own research on these catacombs and the history of them. End up ordering a book last night about the catacombs and its early findings. Hopefully I get more than just videos of skeletons and stuff like that, which there is. I'm just going to have to show you rather than show you videos over it. But yeah, it seems like
unknown caller.
Seems like a lot's been going on while niggas is over here sleep on the wrong shit. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Gills? What's up, Clad? Hey, Mr. Gill, we is on the same page with this, man. Because I was thinking the same thing. Because I'm at the conquest of Normandy. I'm at that war right now. I'm studying that war right now.
Yeah.
And that's another French war. And I swear on everything I love, man, that when you said that, you think they took the Great War and break it down to sections. Why that thought came to my mind like a minute right before you said it?
Because we on the same page. We on the same. You tapped in.
We is on the same page, man. And I'm not. The thing, the crazy part is that you said it on the nose about the French. Everything is surrounded by the French.
Yes. That's corporate history that we learned is from the perspective of the French wars, and I believe they chopped that down and presented the propaganda as if this is war and this is your American troops and this one and this one. Breaking it down, man. Yeah, it's very cool. That's why I tell people,
so
get involved, get in class, drop some notes, drop the information, and we do it together rather than me by myself because I'm awake. You tapped in. And I'm awake, and I want people to feel the same how I feel when perceiving history, because there is a finale to it all. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so this where the 1,000 years must come in at.
What you mean?
That they took 1,000 years and added on the time so they could fit their stuff in.
Well, of course, you take it.
Period.
That's right.
So the war could have been, because I still believe we prisoner of war, but the war could have been safe for 100-something years. But they took 100, but I believe they added 900 years. They ain't added 1,000. I believe they added 900 years. That's what I believe they added, 900 years, because that's what is adding up with that 96 is the 1,500. It seemed like from the 1492 on down, it seemed like it's 900 years was added to me.
So
that's where I'm at.
So that'll put it with these made up stories about this Queen Elizabeth I that was here, and they did all this other stuff, and they are the British royalty, and they was here making deals, and it was the Brits and France versus the Nazis, and this one and that one, and yeah. I see what
you on it, man. I'm getting back in class, man. I'm on research with you though.
Good.
Whatever I get, I'm bringing it forward.
Good, my brother. Thank you.
Already.
My man. So that's a good thing. You know, going back and a lot of us, the thing why it affects males differently, ladies, is because y'all got to know we was always into like military guns and reenacting different things. So we knew more about history and stuff than we led on. It's just not a cool focus point in life to where people got to display. We all play with army men and thought of these scenarios. What the fuck? That don't make sense, but whatever. And now a lot of us will make sense because Kev is explaining it in a way they can understand, which is how they see it. It never made sense to them. So they never really had the influence of forcing the connection of that. They can have a difference of opinion, and it makes sense. What if the treaty was amongst them about us? Doesn't matter, Water World. You got to call that in and explain it. There's no what ifs in the chat room. Thank you, sir. There's a phone line. You can make your assumption because it confuses me. I don't got mad and blocked you. Treaty equals extortion. Well, what was going on with the stock market during World War One? Was there a crash in World War One? Was it a crash in World War II? But was it a crash that offset those treaties and pledges they just made with those original folks they negotiated with? And who were those?
Unknown caller.
That's what's important.
To accept.
Kev Gills, you on the air? What up?
What's going on, Professor Water World?
What up, Water World?
Man, the reason why I said that, just from the classroom, just what you've been giving us and stuff, it's like all these nations came here. For all these nations to come here and work under one accordance, they had to, my opinion, that they had to work together and sign some type of contract to say, hey, man, when this goes off, even if it's 100 years from now, we sign this treaty, we still gonna go along with this plan that we've been had from our forefathers on this other side. Like, these folks don't know shit because we done killed off their heads of household, we done killed off all their males for the next 20, 30, 40 years to come. So it's like the generation that's coming up, they gonna know this treaty, but they don't know what the treaty consists of. They just know it's the Paris Accord Treaty, or it's, whatever treaty that they put up, and in the way, like how you said, you use it again, time immemorial. It's like
just kind of fit it in the history as they go, kind of thing.
As they go, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but you're doing a beautiful job of just breaking this down on how many ways and how many fronts they got us from. And again, for them to come see this live, they had to be on one accord. And then they messed up. Again, you brought this into the forefront when the Pope, the people that organize this treaties all together, because it comes from them at the end of the day,
Yes.
the Roman Catholicism.
Go ahead.
When the Pope wrote that letter to Obama, cease and desist,
Yes.
like you said, the gig was up.
The gig is up.
It's like it's coming to the forefront. I don't know who's declassifying this information, who's letting this information. It's the Most High seeking this information, and the Most High seeking us to you for you letting us this information, but they can't stop this information flow.
Time. They the contract holders, so the Pope would know, and the Pope would say,
yes.
Hey, all right, y'all. See, when the Pope say, all right, crew, that's it, man. Time it's the time. Somewhere down the line it's coming. Now, he don't know the time, but he know that time on that contract. See, these people are the in-game folks right here. These folks are like the real bad boys who don't know that the Pope is their daddy and don't care. They in their own little cliques in the world and figure, no, they right for the taking. They don't know what contract is over mean. They don't really understand that type of shit, but the Pope do.
And then you made us realize it's not a black or white thing.
Mm-mm.
Like, especially with this we. You remember, you were like, who's we? Right. That used to be your thing. Who's the we?
Well, that's
and then when I mean this black, and then this black and white thing, it's like, okay, these Moors look like these black folks that came in here. Okay, so we the same black folks that did a contract with these Europeans against our folks.
Don't Tahaj Bey look like that Moor right there, that North African?
Man, you pulled him up, man.
All right. So
he looked like an Asian African.
Right. So these people accepted the fact that they came from monkeys. That's why they're symbolized in the shrine as the monkey, little fascinated little, because this is a role. We wasn't supposed. Hey man, we ain't no damn monkey. The hell you talking about? But what these the French, bro, and this is how they see you as is like evolution to them. And
then remember how you said when what was that Moor king? Remember they lost the war to, I think, was it Spain, and then they went back to King George and tried to get like some type of approval from King George because they was stuck with Spain. And in that scenario, like how you say, just let's say instead of King George being in England, they went to King George in America, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like they almost infiltrated again, like playing both sides of the fence.
That's all they do.
Where, hey, man,
going back and forth through the shrines, little secrecy, little pack shit, and try to play both sides and end up winning nothing at the end. Fucking leprechaun.
Right, but I have to call that in, Kev. My bad,
No, you all right, champion.
All right,
as long as you call me champion. Thank you for that. That's all it takes is to explain that. And it's good to see brothers explain it, you feel me? Because I need to make sure that people understand what waking up is and how to start realizing what's in front of you is that you live in like a white supremacist democracy style socialist communist will take what's yours and distribute it back to you. We'll hold on to your stuff because you a minor. Yeah, so we're gonna put this in a trust for you. Well, it's already there. We're gonna hold on to it and we're gonna spread it out in our families and keep you dumb. And we got entertainers from up North Africa. What you think Lil Wayne from? Where do you think they found that little motherfucker? What do you think his little face is normal to you? That's a normal face to you? (424-209-9506). What you feel about that? The Truman Show. If I can go to one of my folks, somebody sent me, Amanda sent me what Truman actually did. I forgot the law that he set. What's that law, Amanda, that was set to make it legal to even pull off propaganda on the so-called American citizens? Because I think y'all went into private citizens of a trust. That's where I think they got you. You became private little citizens within established in the federal government. The federal government got your trust. That's what I think. And that's okay because you're not wise enough to understand what all that means. They supposed to. If I was them, I'll hold on to it until the end of time. If they never wake up, boy. Well, I got a cousin, nigga. If they never wake up, you imagine? So that's the importance of it, is actually waking up. Not just saying, oh, where's my check? Y'all owe me. If you was woke, there is no y'all. But if you was really woke, that wouldn't even be on your mind. There's so much more. Smith Mudd Act. Call it in, guys, General. You've been in my chat room long enough. What is that? What was Roosevelt setting up to hand off to Harry S. Truman? Press 1. You got to start looking at presidents as the fucking runner-up and who handing off shit to the next one. You got to start looking like that. I've been sitting right here tripping out how that's possibly those army regiments. We don't know, because when you ask these other folks in the world, they say they don't know, and nor do they care. It's the sight of looking at skeleton and bones. Press 1. The Smith Moon Act. Thank you so much. We gonna look into that. The authorization of privacy. With that, you can create a Truman Show media style that can tell a nigga lies. Y'all can sit up here and play this game of the media tell you lies. So what? That's because you watching it. Ain't no sense up there looking at it and then say, look what he telling me. You don't got to sit up there and watch your man's media. That's part of the game, fool. Stop thinking that these little people on Twitter and Instagram is with you. They know that's part of the damn game. Ain't no, it's a lie because it's legal. That's how you get federally funded or sponsorship. Press 1. You ain't finna get no federal funds talking about no damn Emmett Till on his damn wall with this tie sitting up here. See, you'll never know, even think about this tie. You'll be like, what is that? Well, I don't know. What type of jackets was those brothers wearing? What was they wearing? Why is they feet bound? Where are those people? How were they executed? Can we see? Is there footage? Why does all this footage look so grimy? Why does it look old here, new here, clear skies, no skies? Why the Nazis got all the colored film? Why the Nazis playing like they're Russian? Press 1. I think the Nazis is the damn Russian. And they just got us with the damn, because when I look back at these videotapes, boy, these Hitlers and stuff like this one, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all no more. When I was a kid, I was like, damn, soldiers, they doing stuff right there. Stuff blowing up, they still running down the army, right? I don't believe it no more. I don't believe that like I don't believe space. I don't believe none of it. If you do, then I look at you just as crazy as you look at me. And that's okay. That's your own opinion. Ain't no sense of talking about how the educational system fucks you when it's funded by the Rockefeller Foundation. I don't understand. Probably the foundation sits on top of the trust. I don't understand how y'all just, oh yeah, they got to start telling Rockefeller ain't here to tell you nothing. But what the fuck they supposed to tell you is MK Ultra mind control, everything's okay, American government is not who y'all think we are. Pass on. Before the Hellfighters went to war over there, this wasn't no damn democracy. This place didn't become no democracy until when? Bars. Neo. Until when? The Hellfighters came back from over there. Until J.P. Morgan signed their goddamn contract. Forcing people to do things. So tell some type of treaty or something. I know now what's going on. I know everybody playing stupid because I've been also studying the catacombs of Europe. All these white people just walking through things. I'm starting to realize these were the royals. Not because I'm saying it, because they told us. We just thinking stupid. 6 million bodies. You know what $6 million look like? Remember Black Youngster was in the hotel room throwing money around, $1 million, and everybody was fantasizing about that shit on the bed? First one. 6 million bodies. They little kids of Tataria around here. Sorry, y'all, white folk. Talking about some damn underground tunnel and some goddamn aliens and stuff. But you damn right, underground tunnel. There's escape routes and all type of things to get away from you just in case. But no, all we get is Disneyland stories. You gotta understand, y'all stop thinking everything is some goddamn alien ass fucking conspiracy when the information is sitting right here. Did you know that your people buried y'all people a specific way right up under the ground? You ain't made no thought towards God's people burying they kings and queens and kings and queens and kings and queens for generations here. Only thing you can think about is Egypt and the damn Pharaoh a long time ago, and they just made that shit up there during the scramble of Africa. I'm gonna show you they built it. And you gonna move a whole ancient, never mind, let me stop. I'm talking to people who had democratic Clayton Bigsby mindset, and it was taught by Catholicism. All of you. There's no way. That's why I love y'all. I didn't realize how bright this shit really was. I didn't realize. Please do not put any information concerning no information age nothing. Feel free to call in and voice your opinion, Kevin Adams. You feel me? Voice your opinion. That's what's important. Typing it in the chat room does nothing. Does nothing. So who were in the catacombs? Who are these people on the wall? Why they holding these people up like they damn trophies is the real issue. And like I said, it make more sense that they are trophies, because the Hellfighters brought us liberty. Before liberty, you had freedom. You had the law. You ain't have to tell the nigga what the law was. You feel me? But I've always wanted to know who this was. How was he the Titanic man? You're not gonna learn this, Clayton Bigsby. You wasn't learning this because you was taught that you was a slave. And it was a civil war, and this war, and this war, and then the revolution, and this one. And I always knew it was made up. I just didn't know how, but I see Frenchmen. Fucking French fry. Frenchmen. And black North Africans of the continent of East Asia. Who wear these hats, who came over here, and Moroccan, that's right, we're Morris World TV. As if they was with Columbus or the ship Columbia, I don't give a damn. With the returners, as if, oh, we helped discover America. We was here when it was founded. I bet your ass was here. We may have just developed a time when it really was founded. Somebody show me. I already seen the documentaries. I know there ain't wasn't no damn American flag floating around. And I'm starting to see what the propaganda is when it came to those. It was always weird to me how I wasn't able to tell the difference between a Nazi, an American, a Russian, or nothing. I really had to really start looking at them like, okay, they dress like this. Okay, and those look like this. Well, Americans didn't become Americans to win. And then I said, oh my God, wait till they find out they full of shit. Press one. They could have took all the heads of state on that ship, as the Titanic. You never know. They ain't going nowhere but to Italy, where them bones is. Who knows how many troops been shipped back and forth to Italy to help build a nation up or to establish control of the northern continent of what y'all know as Africa. We not talking about what you believe, Daryl. See, that's the problem with you internet niggas. You hear me, Daryl? That's the problem, Mr. White. We're not finna sit up here and talk about what I believe and get up and explain. That's the problem, Daryl. Thank you, moderator. I believe, but you not there. Voice your opinion if you believe that. You have to say what you believe. I'm up here proving. That's the thing. This ain't no YouTube page. It's a class. You can take belief and hope and all of these things. Cool. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying, but not here. This is where you say with your mouth, not with hieroglyphics, emojis, and all these other things. I call them hieroglyphics and shit. I gotta make it out in my mind with the fucking nigga trying to say, nah, you ain't stressing me out. Where did all of these bodies nobody seemed to come from? 6 million bodies. I was told there was an extermination of about 6 million so-called Jews. And the captivity of these people. Why is German so-called POWs in America when all our troops over there? World War I. Why does Adolf Hitler have dams in America. Why? Why? Like Jada kids say, why in the hell would Adolf Hitler own? How would this even happen? Hell, all I know is if Adolf Hitler owned dams in America, shit, that'd give America an excuse to bomb Adolf Hitler dams in Germany. For all I know. Do you get what I'm saying? How you get rid of niggas? Well, the joke is niggas can't swim. Press 1. Mud floods and that thereof. I got a vast mind, and I thought a lot of people did, but they don't. People don't think about things. People don't think about things no more. Hit that like button. Thank you. They don't think about nothing no more. And that's cool. That's cool too. People don't know what, the world fairs is going on around this time. Re-education of folks. And then they had a whole damn baby boom that they called a baby boom, was really an abortion fucking handoff of a bunch of kids on trains all over America. Adoption age. What the hell is going on? Giving them to people. Here, take the kids. All of them. Shit, if you take this kid and give him, he gonna get your last name. You want to take care of this baby? So many children adopted by black families in the early 1800s. And y'all think slaves was raised watching kids. They had Big Mama in the house watching kids. Big Mama was teaching kids how to read. You get federal funding with kids. That's how they got them addicted to communistic welfare. The white man would start paying them. Take these kids. You see the trick? You got to condition them first. Take these kids. All right now. All right. Legally, these your kids. And they got your name. Sign up right here. You're going to get a check right here so you can afford to live. You were raising them up. You were breastfeeding them. Showing them how to read. The white people was out working. Your man was out working too. Facts. I won't lie to you. I now know the truth about how the foundation of this history started. I have no fear in explaining what I think about it. I know the Federal Reserve corporate history in the history books written by Rothschilds is that thereof of the French. And you understand what I'm saying? That ain't got shit to do with you. George Washington and 7 years, all of this one. I now know. Flood us out the land. Exactly. How many floods did you have back in the 1800s? What were the floods? And for the men, let the ladies do that.
Unknown caller.
For the fellas, how many Hellfighter regiments and from what states were taken off to World War I? That's your title too. Coffee and Kush TV. We gonna let the women worry about the floods and that stuff. We gonna get your mind right over here. Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air? What up? Hold up before you go on. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. Are you there?
I'm still here.
All right, go ahead.
What's good, Kev?
I'm good. Champ, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is from Texas.
Oh, Texas in the building. What's up, Champ?
Yes, sir. Hey, man, I just jumped on, man. I don't know how far I missed or what all I did miss, but I heard you talking about the floods, and the last time we spoke, remember we were talking about the fires, and you told me to go back and kind of look up, what happened with them floods. So,
Yes.
Basically from what I gathered from, going back and looking at the just going back and looking at all the lists of the floods that happened in America, the majority of them came from dam failures.
Yes.
Like the same stuff they did, like in Katrina. how they would say like the levees or the dam was broken or it was some type of misfunction or something.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, boom, here comes this big gush of water. And the biggest one from what I've seen in the earliest days was the Jamestown flood, if I'm not mistaken, up in Pennsylvania or something like that.
Cool.
Where it said, man, it was so powerful that it knocked out 3 to 4 different towns.
Yes.
That was all along the river. You get what I'm saying? And then think about it. I mean, when we think about, where a majority of people will be living,
Towns
it will be right by the water.
And, yes, of course. But not only that, when you went
Right by
further
the
in
water.
at the colonies, these things happen, especially with dams and stuff like that. You wipe out, 4 whole cities, 4 whole towns. And those towns existed people. Thousands of people. So we're not just saying towns so vaguely. We're letting it be known that these was whole cities. Go ahead.
Communities, Kev, whole communities.
Go ahead.
Just wiped out and relocated. Like they have to go. Ain't no, coming back. And now you see how they coming back because think about it. If they know for sure that they are doing something crazy with these dams and flood them out, all they got to do is wait for what they say, problem, reaction, solution, right?
Yes.
All they got to do is wait for the people to react. They're going to go ahead and do it, and they're going to come through with the problem. And they can bring in all
That's why I told the people to research who threw the lob for Harry S. Truman and what it was called, dealing with these type of mass floods and things of that nature. All of it is about setting up the next play. And
now you see why they needed the next workforce of people, why they needed all these children to come and help dig all these cities apart.
That's right.
Dig all this shit away. They needed more helping hands to get over here to find the treasures. Like listen, all that going west trying to find gold. No, man, they was going to find these golden cities that was flooded out,
And
that was burned out.
Not only that, they're there to place admiralty law. You see, you're dealing with foreign bankers who want to overthrow a nation. Well, you just flood them out.
Flood them out.
Of course.
And then
apply
and then
admiralty
now,
laws, a major flood, natural disaster relief, masked as something as admiralty law, where the controls, and then you can build whole ravines with ships and streams and rivers and things come out of that attaches the water to the land. Go ahead.
The game's so cold is how they continue to keep using these so-called natural disasters like the floods and the fires. How they'll say, well, magically a fire started in one little room, but it took out 80 acres. You feel me? It's like they continue to keep using these same 2 tactics, these same 2 disasters to overtake, the community or the people that was living there. Almost like the Rockefellers say, our greatest, basically he was saying our greatest comeback comes in the world's worst catastrophes. You feel me? That's what he said. Our greatest opportunities comes in our worst catastrophes.
Yeah, like
so basically every
order
time
out of
something
chaos.
Order out of chaos. There you go.
That's
Problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah, that's how you pretty much in his work since the overthrow of what was established around the time of World War One, or what people know as World War One. We got to go back mentally and figure it out, but we'll figure it out.
But that's the key, because every time we go back and we see these old pictures and these old world fairs, naturally our minds already think Europe just because of the structures from what they have shown us through their propaganda. But like you said, who knows? They was coming over here recording all these different cities and then going back and cutting it up for every different type of war, or any different type of whatever happens in the world. They'll just go use, hey, let's go use St. Louis's film for this catastrophe. You feel me? And we'll play like it's Rome or something. Now I know I'm jumping, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking
no. You're like again, Spartanburg is in the Carolinas, and the Hellfighters are of Spartanburg. So you're right on, and it's the reason why Rome keeps popping up with us, and are not just different from what they told us. And it's important to find out what all this mean and having an open mind. You get me?
No, that's 100, Kev, because it's like every time we type in like if we'll type in like Rome or something, yeah, it might be a Rome in England, but man, if you look down there, man, it might be somewhere in America too.
Yeah, now that we find
just like Wakanda.
The Rome with the Venetian and the lakes and the people riding them boats, all that was at the World Fairs. All that shit was here.
All of it, Kev.
So it's
all of it, man. Hey, one more thing, because you had me really going into them World Fairs, man, and I got over to like the Crystal Palace when they used that in 1851. I don't know if you ever spoke about it, Kev.
No.
But man, that Crystal Palace, right? They said that the owner of it was Joseph Paxson. He said he designed it. He designed the Crystal Palace in 10 days. Now, when you go and look at the Crystal Palace, man, this thing is magnificent. But the thing that gets me about the Crystal Palace is dude, they had these mammoth trees inside this Crystal Palace. I think it's called the Seneca tree or something like that. Now, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was called the Seneca tree from California. Now, this tree only grows in California. Now, how the hell you get a full-grown tree in the Crystal Palace, but you built it in less than 9 months?
Right.
Now, magically, the Crystal Palace was destroyed by what, Kev? By a fire. A fire. A fire. Now, when I was looking up the Great Floods, I also had a list of the Great Fires. Man, if you look at the list, man, they go hand in hand, dude. It's crazy. They go from a fire to the flood, and they'll move all over from Montana to New York to Texas to Louisiana. It's like all over, and it's like they purposely hitting these spots to wipe these communities out.
I mean, these so-called, these state fairs was damn near state big enough to be a damn state itself. So, yeah, fires, and that's why all of the buildings look burnt up. They look like they were on fire, burnt up. Like it charred. The brick is still there, but the roof and all of the things and the things inside were burnt up. Looking at the World Fairs, especially the early ones, look like big fucking auction sites where they were doing more selling of people's shit rather than. But go ahead.
And a lot of them buildings, you know, especially the ones that I seen like from San Francisco, I was looking at the ones from Color. Man, it looked like they still had soot on it. You know, like they had a lot of, you know, like that smoke dust that was all on them pillars and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, this stuff does not look old, man. Look at this. Let
me ask you, could they had after the flood go out there and shoot that damn World War I and II footage and also along with World War I and II footage, gave you that cavalry footage of them cannons blowing things up and homes and Napoleon doing things. They could have filmed all that right there because it's going to be destroyed anyway. Why not just tear it all down? Well, it seems it's produced by the same folk anyway. Go ahead.
Well, didn't that dude talk about it a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken, on your show, where he said at every World Fair, they always had some type of military marching. You know what I'm saying? They was always marching in the streets, marching over here, marching over there. Man, if you got people recording this shit, hey, we can get. Man, remember when you brought up the documentary of film? How they said the most important thing is the cut. How we can cut from one image to another image. How we can cut. You know, we can show this image over here, but we can cut to a whole different title. You know, a different cut to make it seem like they were all together. And I think that was the most important thing about going to each one of these different locations, recording this shit. So then when they take it back to the production, to Walt Disney and them boys, they'll make they can make the perfect movie.
Movies.
To make it seem like
movies,
it's a perfect
your history, there you go. Your history is what they after in your mind. So if you can shoot 3-4 different histories after the destruction of a major fire and a great flood during the times of late 1800s toward why they didn't capture none of the coups on film, 1898 Wilmington, or none of the things that really went on. There's just more illustration than anything, rather it being the sailors, all of the massacres that's went on. Why are all those put in massacre forms, all put in like a playwright or something like that? You know, but the war, it's weird. They had full-fledged war, but doesn't capture the riots or nothing like that. They capture.
Go ahead. You know, I'm questioning that too. Like,
Of course.
How can you have? Cause, like think about it. I was reading the construction of the Crystal Palace. Where they said they had over. Go ahead.
One second.
Yep.
Forgive me. What we just talking about is media manipulation, and studying it will have you questioning all of these things. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so when I was looking into the whole construction of the Crystal Palace and how it said, man, I tell you what, they wrote a great story on how it was constructed, because they said, man, it took over 4,000 men, 2,000 different work sites, and all these numbers and all this stuff. I'm like, all these people in one area and nobody took a picture of the place being built. Mm-mm. Nobody came and drew all. I mean, think about it. This is where everybody was at building. Nobody came and drew a little picture of what was going on. Nobody. We just got the finished work.
Well, when did those floods happen?
The first flood that I seen was in the 1700s, because I'm driving home right now to get to my notes. I was at work and I couldn't wait to get on my lunch break to call in. But I got my notes at the house. But from what I seen, the first major flood was Jamestown. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was in Pennsylvania. It was in the early 1700s. You feel me? And then, because right after the flood, guess what happened after that? You had the Great Fire of New York.
When was that?
1778, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 1776 or 1778. And then the Great Flood of Jamestown just happened right before that in 17 something, where it knocked out 3 to 4 towns over there. The water was so powerful, they said, that it knocked away, just dismantled the town, because the water was coming at such a massive force.
So the floods will put everybody in peril. It'll put
yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, and this is why they have over 84,000 dams and reservoirs here in America now. It's just like, if people ever start, becoming something, we'll release the dams and wipe them out. I feel like that's the easiest way to, to not seem like we're doing this purposely, but I think as people wonder more about this maritime and admiralty law as applies to what it is, I think they got to throw different things out there to keep applying this, like floods, things that will keep the machine alive. Is the flood? Is a flood? Is an act basically keeping a lie alive.
Well, yeah, you can build so much off of the catastrophe. Again, they wrote, in my opinion, they wrote history recent and went backwards, because they're putting themselves in history after wiping away somebody else's. So it all plays a part into, well, I'm just trying to figure out when was the starting point of it, and I think I've narrowed it down. Somebody earlier said they think they applied 100 or 1,000 years on to time. What do you think about that?
Man, listen. After understanding the whole definition, the whole premise behind time immemorial, man, come on.
It's not far-fetched.
And I don't put nothing past these cats, because listen, once we forgotten that memory, Cal, niggas don't remember nothing.
Yes,
they don't remember nothing.
Now,
we'll just rewrite it.
Not only that, we will believe that a Nazi looked like this damn swastika person in the 1930s or 20s or 10s that got a flag like this, and they went to war and they fell off, and that is not, looking back at that propaganda, most of that stuff wasn't even real. Do you know?
No, it's all illusion, man. It's all illusion.
Do you know they use prop artillery tanks and shells in World War I to make it look like, or World War II as well, to make it look like the Germans was moving in film? They was really out there with the film, running around with 2 troops in an inflatable balloon, making it look like the tank was going over a damn hill.
Kev, that's why I keep bringing up. Man, check out the 1968 Newsbenders documentary.
You got to send it
this
to me.
documentary was
You gotta
banned.
get on the Discord. You got to so we can watch it. You got to get on the Discord so we can watch it.
You're right. I got to sign up, bro. I got to sign up. No, this is a must. This is a must.
Send me the video, though. Send me the video. We'll watch it without you. Fine.
I got you, Kev. I appreciate it, man.
No problem, Ken. My man. Hey, listen. While I was sitting here, my good researcher, Amanda, of course, comes in and drops what riparian rights. Okay, press 1. This is what I want you fellas to research. The riparian rights. They not going to tell you nothing like this. All that is to break down your land and subplot it out and apply patents and sound familiar to it. And this one and that one. I need a caller to call it in right now. Riparian rights, and call it in. Tell me what you think about that. And while they're at that, I need somebody else to call in with the Mud Act of what? The Mud Act of what? All right. They brought this up. What was the act that enabled Harry S. Truman? I ain't forgot. Now I'm doing 2 things at one time. I'm ready for y'all. Okay? You got to be able to understand what all this is, where your towns was, how they were flooded out, when admiralty law was applied as the water was flooded out, as crisis initiative, and as the land receded, that law still remained. Press 1. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? You want to know why all those black cities exist underwater? You can sit up here and daydream with these clowns. It's because riparian rights. It's because those are your people under the water. Let me tell you something. Hold up. You want to know why all of your people towns up under the damn water? Because they dammed it up. They fucking brought and took the land. You want to know how they took the land, right? They flooded you. Press 1. Don't sit up here and lie. Don't sit up here and be amused by these niggas. They flooded you. And applied admiralty law on top of you. So you got to look at it, study it, and call it in right now. 424-209-9506. Listen, don't tell me what you can't
Unknown caller.
do it. I'm not here to talk to people who can't do. I don't fuck with people who can't do, but they can type. I don't care about what you can't do. What can you do? What have you done for me lately? Coffee and Kush TV, you're on the air.
Yes, sir. G from the Bay.
G from the Bay. What that shit do, champion? Good to hear you.
You too.
Yes, sir.
I looked up riparian rights when you were talking.
Yes, sir.
And it gives a landowner whose property borders a river the right to use water from that river on his or her land.
Uh-huh.
And it gained legal recognition after California was granted statehood. I don't know what year that was.
Mm-hmm.
But under the law, it gave owners of land that physically touches a water source the right to use the water from that source that has not been deemed appropriated by any other party.
Mm-hmm. And what if you're flooded out?
And to me, I'm sorry?
I said, and if you're flooded out, how does that law apply to you?
That's a good question. If you get flooded out, I mean, to me, that'd be like almost the loss of your property. Your property would be underwater.
And what are water rights? Do you know anything about water rights while you're underwater?
No, sir, I don't.
You know, if your land is underwater, and if water is on top of your land, and water becomes a public good, just like air, sunlight, and wildlife, what you think else go with that?
All right, you lose it. That's why I guess they said people's property was underwater back in 06, 7, and 8, 2006, 7, and 8.
So that's a ship in peril
you lose the value.
legally under a corporate law. That's why. Am I correct? Do you know that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you.
So they have to come save you. You're a ship out of water. You're a fish out of water.
Wow.
Okay.
I get that, too. I got you.
Yes, sir.
I got you. Hey, you know, you were talking earlier about the World Fair, and you kept asking what happened to the black people, and somebody said something about an asylum, so I started looking into that.
Yes.
And they started housing all of these black people with these made-up diseases and mental issues, where they had like 4,000 people in like one asylum.
They was the size of a prison. That's how many you can fit in there.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And then I started looking
further. When we
further.
go to jail, how many people on medicine? All right, go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead.
Oh wow, that's deep.
Real deep.
But they diagnosed people after the Civil War with something called dramatopia, if I'm saying it right.
Yes, dramatopia.
Yes, sir, dramatopia. That they had a mental illness to want to get away from their slave master.
No shit. And
the cure was to beat the illness out of them.
Yes. So they had a mental illness coming. I don't want to do this, man. I know. Because our friend DeSalto said in Florida that they don't want to feel bad when learning true history. And I'm not trying to make nobody feel uncomfortable and get written up, per se. But you said that they had a disease or a problem after coming back from war when they didn't want to work for the slave master.
Right. They had a case of dramatopia. And the only way to rid them of it was to beat it out of them.
I never.
And I forgot the doctor's name, but the doctor that actually came up with that diagnosis, and it was widely, they were widely using that until they said about 1914. As actual medical
diagnosis.
Cure, right? So if you black and you want to be on your own and take care of yourself and you don't want to be under the rules, then you have this disease called dramatopia and we need to beat it out of you.
Yeah, because if you're under the rule of a previous, where you're of noble, you wouldn't, and you gave your allegiance to the king, you wouldn't be trying to give your allegiance to a bank. And if you would say, no, wait a minute, it ain't about that, you got dramatosis. You needed beat out of you.
Well, we got to beat your ass because you have a mental illness.
So that's what they do, is torture people in these asylums.
Right, in the name of medicine.
You know they do electric shock in these asylums too?
Yes, sir, I do.
The same type of electric shock that the military of back in the day, the German propagandists used to use to mind control.
Exactly. That's where it came from.
So you telling me you will beat it out of you? If that don't work, we'll do electric shock on you to make sure you was a slave. You sit right there and die if you want to. You don't know how to.
And that's what they were doing.
That you's an African American. You African. Yeah, I ain't no damn African. I'm from this one. You ain't no damn American. We this. This is the installation of white power in America. World War I and II.
And that's what they were showing me as a kid when I watched Roots, when the guy kept saying his name was whatever, and he kept saying Toby. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you don't know what your name is?
You don't know your name?
And he kept saying Kunta.
He kept saying Kunta. My name Kunta. No, right. Your name Toby from Africa.
He had dramatopia.
Dramatopia. People got to understand. See, this is why the documentary got to be created by people like us, brother. Because this information of getting the right mindset of our people at this time. What Kev doing on the internet, I got dramatosa.
Well, I guess I got it too.
You got it too. So everybody got dramatosis and coming, and that mean, and now I'm understanding Tupac a lot more by prisoners and meant to be thugs and prisoners in the asylum, in the this one. And we're like, when you turn out the lights, I'll be there in the dark. Even his music melody was that of a mental installation, and that being the prison for God's people. Because we are, damn, that was deep. That's deep shit, bro. I hate to be so deep all the time, but he was conveying that we are all like criminals in the mindset of this power beast that's over us like this. This is like insane. But understanding that a lot more, understanding history a lot more, helps me understand where his mind was at understanding what an outlaw was, and what ex-royalty was, and how they were really looking for us. You feel me? That's crazy.
I feel you.
Trying to send you off to war. The Hellfighters were sent off to war, put in situation to fight for another nation. They was only given 3-bullet magazines, they say.
They weren't supposed to make it. They were trying to send them on suicide missions, but you know, we used to suicide missions.
Right.
Living every day is a suicide mission for us, so they didn't understand that, you know, how we were able to make it back. So they just keep coming up with more obstacles for us. But that blew my mind when you linked Emmett Till to his father and the fight. Oh, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
That made everything start to make sense.
Does it make sense now to you why Emmett Till's father was accused of that? And it just let me know that they were willing to assassinate those brothers over there, even though they was not even convicted by the French, who those people was French. They didn't do this. The American, the so-called new government being installed, is indicting them. Military tribunal or something. And that's sad, bro. And it just so happened
because while they were gone,
his son gets dead like that in the same type of manner with his father's ring on. Nah, bro. Somebody got to say that. Somebody got to tell that story. That's important.
And it all came to fruition for me when the so-called victim said, "Oh, it didn't happen like that." So when you put it didn't happen like that with what happened to the father, man, you dropping information that I hope everybody paying attention.
Well, that's the same thing they did in Wilmington, is they start pumping propaganda that the black man was a beast over here in America. So that fell right in place with what they was doing, convicting them personally, them brothers on. In World War I, or in those wars at the time, and convicted them right there on the spot. And who knows where their bodies are, because their families was just sent letters in that ring saying, yeah, he passed away, he was convicted, military, and white whams. But that first World War II battalion could have been your Royal Roman Army, your 300, as they say, 300 battalions of blacks, of National Guardsmen sent to fight the world wars.
Wow.
Yes.
It's crazy.
It's deep.
But it's all making sense.
It's going to continue to do so as long as we here feeding each other. Thank you, champion.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
if you'd like to support the broadcast, go to Cash App. Hashtag is Gills Gang. Shout out to y'all. But riparian rights. See how many things we going over now.
Unknown caller.
And what that means to you. Because we going to get to the bottom of riparian rights. We already know what it is and how they did it. I just need you on the same accord. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air.
Hey, what's going on, President Cam? This is Cam B from Sacramento. I call right before work as always. I got some information for you.
What's up?
All right, this goes back to the Smith-Munden Act.
Yes.
So check this out. I'm going to just read this objective, and I'm going to read another portion that pretty much goes back with the war affairs and given the diplomas and things like that. So the objective, the Congress hereby declares that the objective of this act are to enable the government of the United States to promote a better understanding of the United States and other countries, and to increase mutual understanding between the people of the United States and the people of other countries. Among the means to be used in achieving these objectives are, and they go through objectives: informational purposes, educational purposes, exchange of services and persons. I scroll down. I'll send this on the Discord. I'll scroll down. They go to books and materials, institutions, and then persons. Right. So they assign people to teach this false information. Right, and wrote it in the act. So typically,
they wrote it in. Go ahead, brother. I want to make sure that my audience here. You see, I know you're excited, and I know it's flowing. It's flowing. To me, I can sit here and listen to you, but we do have an audience, and they got to listen at a good rate. So go ahead, break it down for them.
You got it. So again, basically, the Smith-Mundt Act, in layman terms, was an act that allowed the United States government to promote information as we know as propaganda, right? Yes. Promote information and disseminate information, and it be truth and in law. And what I was going through, and as far as it goes to persons and immigrants, if you do something other than what was listed in the history that they gave you, you are automatically deported. So that goes to the point of the war affairs when they take their classes, get the diplomas, and basically put themselves, almost let America brainwash themselves to be here, to be a part of this American state. You get over here
and tell these people what this really is. You about to be
You're out of here. You're out of here.
Go ahead. Because
you're out of here.
It's really a mind control, Truman Show type of world program. Go ahead.
You got it. Real quick. So typically in history, our known history in the books, things like that, acts don't just come from anywhere. Laws just don't come from anywhere. Right. Acts and laws come from responses. Right? So it takes me to believe, and I could be wrong, this is my opinion, it takes me to believe that before this act was enacted, someone somewhere was maybe going against what was already being taught. So that's why this act came into place in 1945 by this Smith guy, which probably led the way for the Truman Show, which led the way for the smoke and mirrors, led the way for this movie theater that we have now as America.
Go ahead.
That's it, man. I'm short and sweet, man. That's it. That's all I got. I'm going to get back in class, but you mentioned about the Smith Act, so I wanted to break that down before I put that in Discord.
So legal propaganda.
Illegal propaganda. That's
you can bring immigrants over here, indoctrinate them, make them live here, give them a live presentation of who this is. This is an African. This is over here. This is an African. This is a Native American. Because under the guise of white and the allotment acts and removing these land, you have to know this. You got to be able to regurgitate this as one unit and say this. So, and I think they did a hell of a job early on with military personnel. They were great at taking orders and that thereof. Thank you, champion.
You're welcome, man. I'm back to that.
My man, Power on 6 on the air. 424-209-9506. The Truman Show, live and direct. Live and direct. I'm trying to keep the class going, trying to make sure everybody is up to par. Shout out to the people who contribute to the show early on. But now I see why they did the floods, why excavation had to happen, why all this stuff in the 1800s. Why all this stuff in the 1800s was probably removed. Your whole history, the whole excavation was probably removed. The whole excavation
unknown caller
of your Valley of the Kings, see? You may be dealing with the Valley of the Kings. That's what I was looking for. All through the land are forefathers buried here with gold and medallions on them. You couldn't imagine this because the only thing we know is Democrat Clayton Bigsby mindset. Coffee and Kush TV, you're on the air.
Hi, Kev. This is Michelle.
How you doing,
from
Michelle?
Cali.
What's up? I'm talking shit. What's up?
actually facts while you're talking shit.
Good.
So no problem. But yeah, I was just listening to everything you were saying, and I have been doing some research because it's like it's just so overwhelming and so much information because they were doing a lot of stuff all at the same darn time. And when you were talking about the dramatosis, it made me think about this movie that I looked at back in the day where they had this agent, and she essentially was, I can't remember the name of the movie, but the movie was essentially a woman who was scouting out wealthy women. And then what she did was, I know it's probably just telling our story and some of this, putting them into a mental institution, because in this, she would scout out the rich person, and then she would get a doctor that would sign off on making that person incompetent. And then she would take over as the actual agent or caretaker for that individual person and start selling their house, the assets,
Right. They would never know.
Exactly. And if they were screaming, "I'm not crazy," you getting tasered, drugged up, strapped down.
Because on paper, that's what it is. So you can control the person through these types of tactics.
Exactly. And they were taking everything from them. And, and then she has the authority to, because she's the caretaker or person for them. So if they threatened or, would talk to her any kind of way, she had the power because she was, in cahoots with the person that was over the mental institution to make them give them more torture and, whatever the thing was. But it's crazy that this, that they telling us bits and pieces of every darn thing that they did to us in the movie. This is crazy. So it just made me think about that when I was hearing that.
Hell yeah, I'm right here with you. So, when they brought up all of these asylums going on, I really almost dismissed it. I didn't really pay attention to what the sisters were saying. But now I'm realizing that, a lot of, they are here to mentally condition us and to keep us in an asylum mental incompetent. There you go. Because that's what made you incompetent, is not going along with what they were trying to indoctrinate. Your dramatosis would make me incompetent. I'm not receiving the mind control very well. It's not that I'm a very intelligent person. It's not that I'm just, I never took it in very well. I'm just, dramatosis, shell shock them, and they'll be all right. Go ahead, Queen.
Yes, the lady was trying to get out. They grab her, snatch her back, torture her down, all of that.
Right.
And she wasn't crazy. They just labeled her as that so that they could take over her assets. She didn't realize they put everything in a trust, sold the lady's house, auctioned all her belongings off, everything, because she was never meant to come out of that asylum. And that person was the one who took care of their money and their trust.
That's crazy. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. But again, I want to focus on the time frames of when the history of World War I, the floods, these so-called great resets, why our people would be in the bunker. Was it a fire, then the flood? Was there Cold War
unknown caller?
I don't know. See, I'm putting together a great timeline of events that's going to help me out with my documentary that I would like the interaction of the people. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
How you doing? This is Ferguson from Houston.
What up? Shout out.
And I want to touch on, you were speaking on the time change and how it seems that they may have added a time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe from 100 to 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Well, there's a video of San Francisco pre-earthquake, so to speak, as they say. And it's a trolley that's going all the way through San Francisco.
Yes.
When it gets to the turnstile, before it gets to the turnstile, it stops in front of a building. That building says it was erected in 896. Not 1896, but 896. I sent you a link to the video.
Really?
And check it out. Right at the end of the video.
So let me ask you this. Do you think they put a 1 in front of everything?
You can even see in the video where on the they tried to add a 1 to it digitally.
I'm saying, did they add a 1 to, in our minds, put 1,000 years in history in which they could develop themselves? Woo!
Exactly. It's really the year 1022.
It's really the year 2022. And, bro, you, sir, talk some more. That was fucking brilliant, bro.
What they've done is they've made us believe that this history timeline that they've told us has happened already. But we haven't even come to those years as of yet.
So what we have here is they understand Jubilee. They understand rights acts. They know when it goes back to the people.
They got us going back to the future.
But not only that, they understand a lot more than the people give them credit for as well. Very, very brilliant. Thank you for the call, champion.
Thank you.
My man. Very well said. Because again, he understands I'm looking for the 1,000 years. You see, 1,000 years the devil is bounded. A 1,000 years for his glory. Press 1. Understanding time is different for me. It's not like quantum physics of zap, go back in time. There's an understanding of time and learning how to manipulate it and removing Roman numerals. And that'll give us in the future perception that this happened so long ago. Now, us thinking that puts our mind in time immemorial. They don't fucked up. And in time immemorial is where the Indians is created. The white race, all of this mumbo jumbo that's going around, and the federal government, which is the collection of all of them, because they're within. It's a federal government, democracy, European, Asiatic, Hinduish type democracy. I don't know what to call this shit other than Hitler's fantasy world. You get what I'm saying? And the federal government approves this mindset, this specific mindset. And if you don't act according to the mindset, you heard the sister, you get deemed, you know what? We got asylums all over the place for you. It was already here, but shit makes for great jails, don't it? If you don't adhere to the policy, not the law, the policy which corrects your mindset, don't you cross that street chewing bubble gum right now. You understand? So I'm here. I'm like, whoa, there it is. It'll open 1,000 years of time and space to insert your story. So how long do they really got? Well, shit. 1,000 years. The contracts is up. Because it's like you got to sit back and watch it work. Now the system is going to do its thing. Hello, y'all. Welcome to this Bucket Dayline TV, where your news is trusted all the time. Our country is going to shit. These ain't as quite as normal no more. You know, shit, bullshit ass news. So the 1,000 years being up is the end of time, but it's also revelation of what what it all is. We all believe in the Bible, right? All right. The 1,000-year being up is this specific person figuring out that the time is up. It's all in belief of that particular individual that is written about in Scripture. Time is up, and no man know the time. No man knows when no man know the time when the time is up. I mean, they not gonna tell you. You didn't hear the Pope. That was in a letter. They ain't gonna tell you nothing. So, I mean, we find it out about catacombs and things of this nature. That's why I told you to get more involved. Being more involved and you realizing the state and conditioning that you in by democratic foreign banksters they all need you. They need your cotton, your gems, they need your land, they need to flood it out to put maritime on top of it so that when the water recedes and goes back to its natural states and then people land back again, they like, oh yeah, this is underwater maritime law. You got a whole group of people who never even knew nothing but maritime martial law. You better not do nothing but think rap music, be a Democrat, go to jail, kill yourself, poor, socialism, communism, stay right there. That's all we know. People are scared to think, just like they scared to go on the other side of the neighborhoods in Los Angeles. They just don't. I like the way I was looking for the 1,000 years, and I'm saying to myself, why is it the 20th century, but it's the 1900s? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Because there's an added 1,000 years. But knowing more information on how they added the 1,000 years possibly is fascinating to me. Quest, Ion, no. Revelation means to reveal. What else does it mean? Revelation is not about the destruction. The destruction only comes to the world that the people that manipulated and their children who manipulated the 1,000 years. That's it. But the book of Revelation is the revelation of the Christ, of Jesus Christ. That's what the book is about. It's more about what John was saying. It's about the redemption of those whose land was lost. So it's about redeeming the land and redeeming Israel. Wow. Now, 424-209-9506. 424-209-9506. Don't let me go to lunch. I will go to lunch, family. You hear me? I will go to lunch. Tell me more about this Truman and this Moons Act. How did that play a role in propaganda and teaching the newer folk, early 1900s, the coming back, the baby boomers, about who they are, about what this is they got to uphold? What is that? How were they able to say, hey, the war you just had, which probably didn't happen, was of this, and this is how you came about? I mean, really grafted within the confines of this constructed new place they calling home. so they can see the propaganda of the Democratic white supremacy. Press 1. They can live it, rather. It was not like in black folk and saying that you was a monkey. That was just taught to them at the world fairs. The French taught that to them. They was above that. The French taught you to yield. These people ain't no damn American. These people are French. All type of thing. They think that you need them because you don't know what happened. You can't perceive history. You don't know how damned you open the floodgates. Do you know what that means? Take over. The last reset they had, they took everything. And here it is. They talking about the grand reset, invest in gold and silver, and you right there with them. NFT, cryptocurrency, they over here talking about invest in gold and silver right there. You over here talking about NFTs and crypto. You blinded. 424-209-9506. Sorry, sir, you can't send any links here. Sorry for your luck. Let me give a shout out to my main man, Jason Harris, for contributing to the show. Shout out to Mrs. Bertha Davis for the other day of that contribution. I appreciate that. You want to contribute to the show? Contribute to the show. Go to my patreon.com/KevGillsTV or contribute directly to Cash App. My cash tag is Gills Gang. You understand? There should be so much to talk about. So much to talk about. We talking about the catacombs in France, where your World War I. What if they drafted your World War I vets and sent them all to France, and they all up in the catacombs? 6 million of y'all. What if that's the case? You ain't no shit. What if they sent you and drafted you to war? They all had to go to France to check in. They did it in so many wars you ain't even fight. You didn't even go to Korea. You just Korean War. You went to France. All these big wars, you just going to France. You just going to France. What the fuck is going on? Y'all ain't questioning nothing. You just going to France and come back to some damn freedom. I always thought it was weird how the first peace act was by the American government in Morocco, North Africa, the same place that all this shit came. Now it makes sense. Our troops ain't seen no American flags until they got back here as one nation under God, indivisible, that mean hidden, with liberty and justice for all them. Your royalty for all them. Your nobility in your name for all them. Your land and your rights for all them. They don't want to live in their countries. They don't want to turn their countries into places where it can flourish with thought and music and arts and culture and this one and that one. They want to take yours and put your clothes on and tell you. King Leopold was, why don't white people trip out? Was King Leopold the sailor on the Titanic? Captain John Smith is King Leopold. I told you, in order for the Titanic to have sunk and those people to have real names on dolls' rolls and all this, because these people are from a different nation, for them to have real names like that, had to be a bunch of niggas had about to die. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's got to be a bunch of now it makes sense. Military men, heads of household, going off to the military. You ain't thinking about it? To North Africa. They probably just throwing them in captivity. Pledge to America or die. Pledge to America. You have no idea what the fuck is going on. These is headhunters. They's cutting off the heads of a state. You talking about is a damn Indian? You don't get no more worse Indian style headhunting than a North African Moroccan. Press 1. And you going
unknown color.
and they don't even know they becoming French. We thinking they all signed up to be French. Hell no, they didn't. That's corporate America malarkey. Press 1. Kev is bringing that truth today. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
What's going on, Professor? This is Derek, man.
What's up, Derek? I'm talking shit, trying to light this world on fire.
I hear you. I hear you, Tim. I just wanted to kind of chime in, just to give a little bit of info, kind of what I found with the Hellfighters.
Go ahead, King.
Because I know we talked about it off the show. So from North Carolina, I mentioned that there were over 200 Hellfighters that came from North Carolina that went up to Harlem for the big recruitment. I think it was possibly, about 50 or 60,000 that they recruited up that way. But to me, like I said, you're absolutely right. I'm thinking that when they shipped those brothers over, I think it was about 1,500 of them that they shipped over for World War I.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that those brothers never came back.
The first 1,500?
Yep, those brothers never came back. Because
how you know it's 1,500?
That's what was stated.
Okay.
They were the first 1,500. Yeah, they were the first 1,500 that went over to fight on that front line.
Now let me ask you something. How many people died on the Titanic?
About that amount.
About 1,500.
Close to. Yeah, it was over 1,000.
How much money was on the Titanic? Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm not sure about the money part. Yeah, I'm gonna look there. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna add that to the note.
Yes, sir.
But based on finding out about this Hollywood footage and all that stuff with this propaganda that they're putting together, I'm even thinking that the footage, even the parade, everything that they put together was those North Africans that they switched out to what they brought back over. Because of some of those pictures, they had the Hitler mustache, like the black soldiers.
Yes, sir. A lot more French. The North African French.
The French, yep.
Had what people know as the Hitler mustache. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's kind of what gave it away to me. I was like, hold up, our brothers wasn't rocking those. That was like, hell nah. That's
you ain't finna get no play at the local.
Right.
The fuck is that one?
So yeah, like I'm totally on board with what I'm thinking. Like what you said, that they were sent over like a suicide mission, because like what we saw in that footage, those old pictures with Leopold and the guy from the Titanic, those are the same people. Like
what happened to John Smith? Did he go down with the ship?
That's what they say. He went down with the ship.
I bet his ass did. I bet his goofy ass went down with the ship and never to be seen again. Just American honor somehow sunken by a German U-boat. Ain't that some shit?
Come on.
Wasn't that the conspiracy?
Come on, man. So big. But
that was,
and they almost got away with it.
And they almost
got away with it. They almost got away with it. But if it wasn't for these,
I'm gonna tell you, King Leopold is the exterminus. It could have been gas on them boats. It could have been anything. Our brothers just getting on there. You saw the documentary. They just getting on there. Big Al saw the documentary.
But I don't think they even came back, because
I'm saying to go.
Oh yeah, to go. Yeah, they was probably gassed on the way.
Who knows?
And put in those catacombs.
I saw them getting on the bottom of the ship. When they unloosed the ship, they was getting on from the bottom. Yeah, they got the ramp or so, but a lot of troops was getting in the belly of the damn ship. That's crazy.
Right. So they got a lot of explaining to do, because from what I see,
King Leopold Smith. Shit.
Yeah, that's the same person. Like he almost, like I said, that was almost like let me just snatch my beard off.
And he was the guy that was cutting off African boys' hands and shit back in the day.
Right.
He is the murderer of murderers.
But that's what got me. I'm like, hold on, why is he in the same picture with them? And he was chopping us up like it was nothing.
He was a king of torture. So why when we was looking at this this let me see. This picture of them brothers standing there with John Smith could have been their final days.
Right. And that struck a chord, and I was like, hold up, something ain't right. Like, did these brothers even make it back? Which now we know they did. Because it's all in the footage. It's all in the pictures, like they told on themselves. So, yeah, man, I commend you for that one. That was a great find. Because I didn't even notice it until you kind of pointed it out, too. And hold up, that's the same dude. What is he doing in this picture?
I learned to look at him because I'm looking for different versions of Harry S. Truman now that I know they do this. And they were doing this at the time.
And another thing that you were talking about with J.P. Morgan,
yes,
holding these people hostage,
yes,
on the boat,
yes.
Come on, man.
Did you read that?
That's
I mean,
what
did you
man,
read
that's
that?
what it is. Yes, that's
Until they met the demands and a signature was signed, and he allegedly brought them back and did this one. But it's looking more like that story fits into how and what happened to our boys during the first inception.
Right, like they could have been. Yeah, they lost at sea.
Lost at sea.
Just like you said, they lost at sea.
Heads of state lost at sea.
Man.
Tied to the ship.
But yeah, man, that's
tied to the ship. Now check this. Now you ain't finna get out of here like that. Now check this out.
Oh no, let's go.
Now,
okay, yeah.
Now if they in the belly of the beast, tied to the sea, you thinking is water? Or is it we talking about the demonic holy sea and the phantom ship of where the Catholic Church sit up there in Rome, where all those bodies are, and they can't seem to know.
Wow.
They got these what looks like soldiers on the wall. They look like the same type of clothes that our people was wearing, especially if
they got the same peacoats on.
They got the same type of peacoats on, and they look like trophies. And we know what happened to our people after it happened to them.
Man, they look like look at their head.
They gonna murder you for my namesake. That mean your namesake. That's what that means. Your namesake. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I peeped the head and the way the hands and the feet were bound up. It looked like those people were hung.
That's what it looked like to be military tribunal.
Right. You can tell by the neck kind of bent over, like, they were suffering. And even in some of those pictures, you can see where their head is up, where it looks like they're almost screaming for their life. Like, you can tell that these people went through torture.
Yes.
Before they got put on that trophy wall.
Before they got put on the trophy wall. Good way to explain that, bro, because that's important. That's very important that people realize what this all means. These people talking to us symbolically through movies, TV shows, talking to each other, and we, as the black people in the Americas, have no idea what they talking about. We laughing right there with them.
They're sitting like they're talking to us in Admiral time.
But they talking to each other about holding and maintain a certain structure through talking patterns, a way of speaking, the way that they were taught by their forefathers who went through the conditioning at the World Fairs. We are really living in an alternate universe where these folk are mind-controlled drones. We know our people be mind control drones because they fascinated by entertainment to the point they think they family members. Okay, so let me know. White folk been through this doctrination for 3 or 4 generations. They can tell us best, nigga. They ain't never said they parents met at the damn World Fairs. They grandparents. Let you know they could be orphan babies, all type of shit. You don't even know if that's a real
man. They are orphan babies. What you mean? They can't tell you where they came from. They don't know where they came from.
So
when you go back to a certain amount.
A certain time, huh? So what you think about those catacombs?
Right.
What you think is over there? What you think? What you think that is? It's hard to say. Fuck, that's hard to say.
To me, personally, it looks like like what you said, some gas chambers. It looks like they were holding cells, holding people for their names or for submission into whatever the new doctrination was.
Prisoners of war.
Right. So if you didn't like what you said, if you didn't go along with the plan, you were unfit, to even be a part of society moving forward, because this is this great reset. We resetting this. So you either be with it or you not with it.
Are you going underground?
Right. There you go. and the way it looks like a lot, 6 million? 6 million people?
Yeah.
Or what you say, so-called Jewish people?
Yeah. Or they call it, white people call it early Christians.
Oh, that's the cover-up that they use?
Well, but that would make them feel like it could have been them. It gives a little non-caring factor. When you say early Christians, it sounds like 30,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It does, but we can look at their crest, that even them and Europe over there.
That's very much recent. That's very much recent.
Right. Those are very swarthy people on those crests. Last time I checked, those people are dark. They didn't look like what they look like now. So, I'm still questioning, okay, where do they come from? So, they got us thinking, okay, we came from over there. Where did we come from? I'm like, where did y'all come from?
They probably established that stuff and was shipping people over there, exterminating them, going through indoctrination, keeping.
They had to.
Remember that movie?
They had to. Did you see the catacombs with all those?
Yeah, I saw that shit. Did you see Manchurian Candidate, where they took the military boys out?
Yeah.
And
the electrical
minds and shit.
Come on, electric shock.
Electric shock.
I think they still doing that.
That was legal under shell shock. Beating your ass under the Dramatized Act,
right?
Whatever. When you don't want to conform, doesn't that sound like Nazi Germany would do? Because it is them.
I mean, it's 100%. You remember Project
they describe
Paperclip
as those is the Nazi Germanys, and the Nazi Germanys is this bad. All that shit happened to us under democracy.
Shit, check this in.
Go ahead, Ken.
Kev, I know what just came to me. Okay, with Project Paperclip, they sent over their best scientists. It was about 1,500 of those people. Wasn't it like 1,500 or 1,600 of those scientists?
Heimler and them?
All right, that came over here, that were German from Nazi, that came over here to America to kind of implement themselves into society.
That's probably what it was, right? Yeah. The inception.
Yeah, because, I mean,
that
you remember
logical.
What they sent those soldiers, 15 of those soldiers.
But they still trying to make it seem like World War II was when it all happened. I don't believe that. I think it all happened in the 1900s, a part of what they was calling these little wars, but really was the French wars and shit. But I think it all happened then.
Right.
I don't separate these little wars or nothing like that, because we always been fucked up ever since World War I. Ever since we became assimilated with the French, we were defeated.
Right, because they didn't they buy that? What is it? The piece of land? What was the purchase?
Louisiana Purchase.
There you go. I don't think they ever left.
And how much they bought it for? $2.
Nothing.
All that land that could have been flooded out by the Colorado dams up there, they end up purchasing under maritime law and taking over, splitting, dividing the country in half. Damn, we good. Go ahead, King.
Well, the research that I'm kind of turning you on with, you sent me on my homework assignment with the dams. Come to find out, there was over 200 plus dams that failed, flooded, all types of things in the 1900s.
Good.
So to me, I mean, if that wasn't planned, I mean, you can easily not want to open or not function for the day to cause a flood when there's a hurricane or there's a storm coming up.
Yeah, it's nothing to cause a huge flood.
Right. My thinking was they even built those dams for a safety net in place for that. Because when you go back and look at these
I
major
don't even want to go there yet, bro. I don't even. I mean,
okay. Let me hold back.
Let everybody catch up. Everybody, thank you for the call, my guy.
Okay, let me sit back down, champ.
I'll see you in a minute, champion. My man, like, hey, I don't even think that shit. I think that was already in place as a. So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. You're gonna take action when it comes to it. Shout out to, who is this? Rodman 713. Have a seat, Mr. Rodman. Shout out to you in the building somewhere. Shout out to your cash app, brother. I understand now exactly how when the French had North control of the North Africans. You know, they didn't have jazz up there.
Unknown color.
Hellfighters went up there. That's why I keep telling y'all to watch those documentaries so you'll know exactly what I mean. It wasn't no jazz. It wasn't no swing until the Hellfighters band went up there and established what you know as jazz and stuff like that. Up there in Europe, they had no idea what that shit was. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air? What up?
Hi, Kev. This is Michelle again.
What's up, Michelle?
I was thinking, what if those so-called race riots and bombings in neighborhoods and all of that, where they were wiping out whole neighborhoods, were actually the wars? And then the World Fairs, where they got all the actors together, you got all the people to play the part. You can stage a whole world war to explain. And it really wasn't a world war. You already came in and destroyed and tore up.
Right.
And, bombed neighborhoods.
Now it's time to explain what
exactly.
all this was together. Yeah.
And since we have all the actors to get here together, we can roll that beautiful being footage and, play the role, since
like
we all have come.
You can make up Napoleon history. You can make up Revolutionary War. You can make a down World War I, II, Vietnam, all of that with this destroyed property. Just take your pick.
Yes.
With this destroyed, some scenes you can shoot on plantations and shit. Go ahead.
The time it took them planning the World Fair was to put together their story and play it all out in front of everybody to indoctrinate them on that particular story, on how we gonna put it together. But that's the reason why, like, when I was researching into the Queen Mary, I was digging into why they always called it the ghost ship, and it led me into realizing that the Queen Mary was also built under the company where the White Star Line was, and it was considered a luxury ship. So when I was looking into J.P. Morgan, who was head of that, that's when I ran into a story where he had taken the heads of state out because he was trying to get control over the road system and some other things. They call it negotiate, but I know how they're negotiating is. Yes, he took them out on the water in a yacht on a luxury ship where they were away from their land on his territory where they couldn't leave. Exactly. And negotiated, quote unquote. We know what that was. So they probably never made it back, and that's probably where those haunted, people come from on there. And then all of a sudden they converted it to a Navy ship, and they were bringing in soldiers. So that's why I think the war was here, and then they were using these world fairs to cover up and create a story behind it. And, film it and call it a world war. At the same time, the World Fair is going on.
You're right. And they got a lot of movies where you talk about ghost ships, and they actually got people on big ships like the Queen Mary, and they're drinking a red wine, and then gas start filling up the party room and the guest hall.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Why they were using Yes, and that's why they were also using the Queen Mary to bring in military wives. And I'm like, wait a minute, if the military was fighting for their home territory, why would you be bringing them into the U.S. on a boat and claiming that you were, introducing them to their new land where they husband and lived all that? That don't make sense.
But it sounds like an inception. If somebody else is pretending to be you by way of other ships somewhere else, then because you got other sister ships under J.P. Morgan's White Star Line, and but the Queen Mary, that stands out to me because it sits at the dock of Long Beach, California, and it don't move. It's just tied and connected to the ship.
Exactly. And on top of that, they moved it because it used to transport out of New York into what they call Europe and all that over there. So it used to transport. When they laid it to rest is when they moved it to Long Beach. So
they sit there at the docks in the Holy See, which is Pope-controlled water. Yeah. And the deeds are where? Where's the deeds to these young men? Where is it?
Could be we're in the ghost ship, which is why they got it there.
Well, that's why it's important to find out what's in the urns and what the scrolls really are and what redemption is and why they're in the ghost ship and why they need to be redeemed by the salvager. I believe that's what it's called, but we were talking about this. And God is positioning this very good. So I thank you for the call. Very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So understanding what the ghost ship is all about and why they're like the Philadelphia experiment, taken back in time, applied 1,000 years, came back stuck on the ship forever bound. Just like Pirates of the Caribbean per se. But I always thought like, okay, so who has the deed? And now I know the Roman Catholic Church is the biggest, but zooms and wow was under that right there. They had to, for that much trust to be put in there, they always had to have communion back and forth, a lot of trust there for the big fuck over. So what your heroes are by way of central banking and French propaganda, German, Nazi, Russian, communist propaganda, ideologically subverting the true inhabitants of America and the royal family, honestly, they have no standing after we get finished with figuring out why, instead of, hey, burning things down, using your mind to fight a ghost, per se. Why the world? Birth certificate. I'm not looking for the birth certificate. Each one of you got birth certificates. I'm not talking about a birth certificate. For those who've been in my class a minute and know the
unknown color,
redemption, and not only that, the law of salvage, when we were talking about redeemed vessels, salvaging vessels and things of that nature through the birth certificate, then you won't have no idea what we're talking about. You are in a peril state of mind. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
Hey, yeah, this is Ferg from Houston again. I have a very, you brought a strong thought to my mind.
What's up?
What if the heads state came back, but they weren't the heads of state? We're already talking about them wearing these masks, wearing these fakes. Somehow they were able to get on the land and subject it. We wouldn't have trusted nobody else if the heads of state when they came back. And that might have been how we started fighting among ourselves, because our people might have came back with the wrong mind. People, I don't even know who this is anymore. Like, who is this man? Who is this person? This can't be our team. This can't be our heads of state, because they came back and subjected us. What we're seeing now is they were using fake faces, and then
you deem them unfit.
You deem them unfit. That's how they deem
the code. Put them in an asylum, and now they're minors. We hold the state because they're like a bunch of crazy people acting crazy and wild, like savages.
So was the going to Italy in order to get them over there, in order to make these molds of our people?
To make what?
Molds of their faces. After you hang them, you take. We see. You showed us how they had all these molds of faces, even black faces, on the walls.
Yes.
And this lady was doing the makeup and all this kind of stuff that they take on dead people, make molds of them, and then made them immortal, made them live on forever.
Yes. They just had the Abraham Lincoln thing where they had the mold of his face. Of course.
Wow, man. That's blowing my mind. Thank you. That's all I want to ask because that's got me thinking.
You put
Really
the mold over them.
thinking.
You mold up, put up new statues, do all type of things.
When the ship came back, they came back to these people.
Yeah, especially when you're doing body discovery, like, is that my cousin? Is that him? A lot of people's bodies wasn't claimed. A lot of recreation shit was going on. So, yeah, thank you for that, champion. Thank you. Could be. We watched a great video on the Reconstruction period and Reconstruction and doing different faces. A lot of so-called mask of faces were created to get the impression that this was somebody that it wasn't. So you don't know if Harry S. Truman was playing a role of Roosevelt, who threw him the lob of a catastrophe act or some type of destruction act. When these things happen, it's all about the setup. So for all you know, Harry S. Truman could have been playing Adolf Hitler. You don't know. You dealing with, have you ever seen the movie Wag the Dog? You dealing with producers and mad psychologists, aka mind control folk, who got production studios and a federally a fund that's open. You do whatever you want. I know the Hellfighters were led by Napoleon, press one, who was in blackface when taking a lot of his photos. So we gonna find out. I mean, the real Napoleon, not this French made-up character. I'm talking about. See, I've been in my studies. I got his picture. I'm just holding out on relating with y'all. Everybody not deserving of this type of information. That's what I'm learning too. A lot of people will take my information for granted. That's why there's no need for me to give it all to you. We got other YouTubers around. We got other people trying to take a nigga information. Why just throw it to you when I can give it to those who are interested? The ones who research it and want to know more, I can say, well, point you in the right direction. Look right here. And they just come back. Wow. So that's how I like to teach. And I've learned through my first couple semesters here at the Row. I'm not going to give y'all everything. Y'all be like, all right, Kev, whatever happens, we love you, but peace. No, fuck all that. You don't understand. We are constantly growing. Every semester is a higher process. It's a higher thought. Press one. You miss a semester here, you might as well stop waving. Ain't no get back. You be talking about one and press one and waving. What up, Kev? But your mindset is set on 2 semesters ago. You don't want to be like that. We ever growing. I'm not looking back. No. Nigga, when you look back, females and niggas hold you back. No. I'm not looking back. If you need to contact me, get in my Discord. I'm always on Discord. Put your information right there. Don't waste my motherfucking time, because I'm not gonna let you. I'm not even gonna let you. I've learned. You feel me? And I'm doing a lot better now that I know who wants to learn and who's really here for learning and actually teaching it. Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air? What up?
What up, Kev? First time caller, man. I joined you about a couple days ago. Patreon, all that, man.
What's up,
I
Tim?
really enjoy what you got. I really enjoy what you bring to the show. But what I want to talk about is I was watching this show called Them. Have you ever seen that before?
What's it called?
Them.
No.
Okay, it's a play off of the show called Us from the Key and Peele guy.
Okay.
The Key and Peele guy made a movie called Us. Okay, well, the show called Them, it's about this black family. They moved from North Carolina to L.A. Now, they're going to end up being the first black family to move to this Los Angeles neighborhood. So when they get there, they think everything's all peaches and cream, but come to find out, this neighborhood got a deep past and a story. Well, make a long story short, the black woman, she found out that before them moving there, it was another black family that lived in this neighborhood, but they got ran out some kind of way. So she was digging up. She found out that the wife of that home, she was put into a mental asylum.
Wow.
And she was blamed on killing her. She was blamed on killing her family, but she didn't do it.
Oh, Sandra Bullock. Is that Sandra?
No,
okay, go
no.
ahead. This is a black.
No,
I apologize. Go
ahead.
Is
it
Netflix?
So,
where can I find this?
It's on Amazon Prime, brother.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so come to find out, the black lady, she was put in the mental asylum. Well, it was this white woman that was over her, that was her overseer, and she wouldn't let her out. And she was mean to it. And the lady, I mean, I don't want to tell it all, but, you know, this when you were talking, y'all talking about this mental asylum and the white woman over the people and ain't letting them out. I thought about this movie because when I was watching, I was like, what the hell this mental asylum got to do with it?
Right.
Now I get it. Thank you so much for, man. That's why I need to call this in, bro.
It's about controlling your assets because you're mentally ill. You got a problem with violence. You don't know the law. You don't know how to be an adult, even though you're over the age, very well over the age of being an adult. You're still a minor. You don't understand that I'm using word linguistics around you for you to give me. I'm saying and repeating the same shit over, and you just still giving me. And then you ask me. What's weird is you have the power to set law, and then you ask me to get better training from a federal government when you're the real government. You control what type of training I get. But you cry and you pout and you want to burn things down and be incompetent rather than vocally state your case as a man or a family or as a unit or as a people, as a family. Our people are so condensed. Look at our people on Clubhouse. Grown ass men talking about gang banging and shit. With whack 100. These are grown ass. That's what I'm talking about.
The brainwash is real. Everybody's conditioned. Like I feel like I'm part of the. I'm glad I found you because it's like you're the only person to speak like me. I'm a Leo too. Everything you be saying, I be like, man, that's how they be treating me. That's how I be doing them. Yes. And then I get the same thing back. But I'm like, you know what? I'm a master Leo. That's what I call it. So I'm not gonna allow them to use what they think is my weakness. I'm just gonna study that and make sure that ain't my weakness. You're not gonna come at me like that. Like
yes,
they think I'm a simpleton.
In fact, I want you to know my weakness so I know how you. Yeah. I want the worst of it too. So when I wear my heart on my sleeve, brother, I want the Jezebel. I want the worst bitch to come fucking destroy my shit. So when I'm better and repaired, hey, well, you better come right. You understand?
Or don't come at all.
Yeah, because I've got treated to the point. Oh yeah, I know what your issue is, and I'm not wasting no time. I can't go that way. I can't take that ride. You're not insured by survival. You feel me?
And sometimes they don't understand because we born leaders. We just got to come into ourselves. Yep. And when you don't do that, they looking at you like, why you ain't doing what I'm doing? I'm like,
them hips and titties and conversation and Jezebel, they figured they lost you or some shit when all they really got to do is learn conversation and be interested in law and the order of things rather than using your seduction spells on me because eventually that's going to wear out and I'm not interested.
Amen. And that's what happened as a... Right. But yeah, I just wanted to call that in and let everybody know if they want to watch that show, Them, check it out because it drops some gems in there too. Like, oh my God, for real. It can. If you check it out, you'll see what I'm talking about. God bless. Thank you,
my man. Thank you for that. So like I'll be telling the young brother, you feel me? That things that are the past when you, especially when you like me, like Leo shit, all that stuff is just there. As mental for you to hurdle over, you to pounce over. You understand? You realize once it's there, you got it, G. You got it, G. You feel me? Now I know. I don't. And you know, I ain't finna be dead like that one. That's not happening. That's not happening either. I don't care about that one over there. I don't care. None of that is gonna make me happy. I care about my happiness now. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing men are afraid to do, is care about their mental happiness. You need to be happy too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hound, so I'm not thinking about sex all the time. I'm not thinking about that shit like that. So you better have a plan or something. You better have a plan. Other than I'm finna get this nigga like this. Oh, you gonna be working like that? You gonna get tired. That ain't how you. I don't know who y'all working for, who y'all working with, but I couldn't think the way I think being that a hound dog. You get me? I can't be greatness of Kev worried about hound dogs. And when you're thinking like a hound dog, you think everybody is a damn hound dog. And then that's just like no trust. You ain't got no friends now. You got homies you this, but he's a hound dog just like you. I don't want me no damn hound dog. I ain't no damn hound dog. And my friends ain't no damn hound dog. You feel me? And the females I deal with don't come from a hound doggish perspective, per se. You know what I'm saying? We defeated those demons early on in life. That's bullshit. Somebody said AKA Britney Spears. Yes, Britney Spears, but along black people. Britney Spears for sure, but that's what black people been going through this whole time as a collective. That's why they're all bunched up together in those little projects and hoods. Those projects are asylums. Press one. The projects are the asylum. That's why the police be in there beating you up and giving you static shock. You just don't know what it is. You don't know how an asylum and a jail work. I can open my asylum and you can go out there. That don't mean shit. Under the Maritime Law Asylum Act, bow. Nigga, I'll leave the jailhouse, put my sheriff unit outfit on, come bop you over your head now, and then put this on you. Shout out to Rock Nation for these clothes with the extra pockets. I'm gonna put these drugs on you right here. And now you're going right back to the asylum because you don't get it. You don't motherfucking get it. You want to talk back. Sir, all I said was I ain't finna give you my license while you pull me over. Them is basic rights I see on YouTube from white people. Not you, nigga. Not you. Sir, why you pull me over? Get your bitch ass out the car. They got us. You were like being treated. You asked him why? Because he's a government. You think he's a government enforcer of the old Constitution? Hell no, he yanking your shirt. He gonna pull you out, disrespect your shit, beat you up, and have a great excuse. And then the supervisor finna cover up for him. And then the state and the lawyers don't want nothing to do with it because that's your fault for asking dumbass questions. That's supposed to be righteous. They don't make what's right for you dumb and illegal and a reason to kick your ass under the French policies, corporate policies. Not one of these niggas who talk about cryptocurrency and NFTs is American. They all foreigners trying to apply this cryptocurrency as a Federal Reserve foreign national bank. They gonna do nothing but rob your dumb ass. It's one big pyramid scheme. America should outlaw cryptocurrencies, and all the niggas gonna march. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. We can't do NFTs, man. They just want to control us, B. But why are you stupid? Your country got resources. Your money is backed by things. That shit ain't backed by nothing but the word of Elon Mustard Face. Press one. Your favorite entertainer who sold you that shit. David Beckham and them had to sell you. They just signed a deal and took all they fucking advance money in crypto. Next day, the shit went 50, 60 below. Now they got to sell it to you for the very cheap and then say the market is doing well. Kiss my ass. Coffee and Kush TV. I see y'all on Patreon. Movie night. And as always, family,